Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he did not rule out further strikes on Hamas leaders wherever they are, as the heads of Arab and Islamic states held a summit to back Qatar after Israel's attack last week in the Gulf state. You are watching Toori. In today's video, we'll uncover the secrets of Qatar and Israel crisis. So let's dive in. The September 9 strike targeting leaders of the Palestinian militant group in Doha was a significant escalation of Israeli military's action in a region shaken by conflict since the Hamas-led October 7, 2023 attacks that ignited the Gaza war. While the assembled Arab and Muslim leaders were expressing solidarity with Qatar, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio met Netanyahu and gave strong backing for Israel's headline stance. Although Washington has expressed unease over the Qatar strike. Speaking alongside Netanyahu in Israel, Rubio said the only way to end the war in Gaza would be for Hamas fighters to free all hostages and surrender. While the US wants a diplomatic end of the war, we have to be prepared for the possibility that's not going to happen, he said. Washington has said it was not warned in advance before Israel attacked Qatar, which houses the biggest US military base in the Middle East. President Donald Trump said on Sunday that Israel had to be very careful. They have to do something about Hamas, but Qatar has been the great ally of the United States, Trump said. Hamas has said the Israeli strike killed 5 of its members, including a son of its exiled Gaza chief, but its leadership survived. Qatar says one of its security agents also died. Qatari Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani urged the summit to take practical and decisive steps in response to the cowardly and treacherous strike, saying it occurred as Hamas leaders were studying a US ceasefire proposal. The final communique of the summit, which brought together states including Iran, Turkey and Saudi Arabia, did not contain leak that appeared in a draft seen by Reuters, which said the Israeli attack and other hostile acts threaten existence and efforts to normalize ties in the region. A separate statement by the Gulf Cooperation Council said Israel's continuation of these aggressive policies undermines the future of existing understandings and agreements with Israel. The summit's communique did call on countries to review diplomatic and economic ties with Israel. In what Arab League Assessment Secretary General Hossam Zaki said it was an invitation to states that have relations with Israel to revise them. President Abdul Fattah al-Sisi of Egypt and US ally, which signed a peace treaty with Israel in 1979, told the meeting Israel's actions put obstacles in the way to any opportunities for any new peace agreements and even awards existing ones. Rubio will travel to Qatar after his visit to Israel. He called on Qatar to continue to play a constructive role in resolving the Gaza conflict, saying it could help reach the goals of releasing all 48 hostages still held in Gaza, disarming Hamas and building a better future for Gazans. But his words alongside Netanyahu suggested Washington now considers a diplomatic solution unlikely and is backing Israel's plan for a major new military operation that Netanyahu says will crush Hamas once and for all. As much as we may wish that there be a peaceful diplomatic way to end it, and we will continue to explore and be dedicated to it, we also have to be prepared for the possibility that's not going to happen, said Rubio, calling Hamas saving terrorists. Hamas needs to cease to exist as an armed element that can threaten the peace and security of the region, he said. Netanyahu did not rule out annexing the Israeli occupied West Bank in response to moves by some countries to recognize a Palestinian state at the UN General Assembly later this month. France and Britain are among the countries that have said they will do so. Asked whether Israel was considering extending its sovereignty to the West Bank, Netanyahu said, "A future step is a future step. We don't need to expose it ahead of time." It's clear that taking unilateral actions against us simply invites unilateral actions on our part, he said. While diplomacy was unfolding in Jerusalem and Doha, Israeli forces continued their assaults in Gaza City, where they killed at least 16 Palestinians in strikes on 2 homes and on a tent housing a displaced family, local health authorities said. The army also hit and destroyed a 16-floor building in the west of the city, believed to be the tallest in Gaza, about an hour after warning displaced families sheltering inside and nearby to leave. It said the building was being used to hide terrorist infrastructure. The war in Gaza was triggered by a rampage into southern Israel by Hamas militants who killed around 1,200 people and captured 251 hostages, according to Israeli tallies. Israel responded with an assault that has killed more than 64,000 people, according to Palestinian health authorities.